Hey guys, I'm back. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year. And this is video 255. Thank you so much for being here with me today or tonight, whenever you catch this. And I just got done doing my Tybo yet again after a full day of clients and I'm so energized. It's crazy. So I recommend you do Tybo or some sort of movement because movement is medicine and it just feels so good to get this extra energy out of your body and remain healthy, strong, mobile. That's big for me. I want to remain mobile and not rust when I'm old. So it is so great for flexibility and mobility. I just love it. And for our brains. I've definitely noticed my brain is getting sharper after doing this for like the last 10 days or so. So anyway, off the soapbox, into the book. So we're doing, again, there's a spiritual solution to every problem by Wayne Dyer. And I wanted to read one little paragraph out of that real quick. And then I'm going to talk about some client sessions today that kind of fit into this. So very interesting day. So Mr. Dyer himself wrote, "This state of bliss depends exclusively on the quality of your thoughts. It means letting go of your concerns about how you are being perceived by those around you. It means detaching from the results you produce and instead immersing your entire being into the activities of your life. It means refusing to pursue happiness and instead bringing happiness to all that you undertake. In short, perfect joy is found in the absence of striving for it and instead realizing it is within you." I love that. Now, how did I find this? Well, I just opened the book up and it opened up to this and it just fit perfectly with today's sessions that I was going to, bring in. And my point to saying what I just said was when you just let go of the reins and just say, I'm going to trust the synchronicities in my life. Things just open for you. It isn't just a door shows up. The door opens for you. It's that simple. We just are inspired to take action. And that action could literally be deciding not to take action, which is weird. But any action is great. So if you feel like you need to take a nap someday, just take a nap. Follow your highest excitement, as Bashar says. Even if that excitement is just not jumping up and down excited, it could be, but just having a cup of coffee, like I've said in the past. That gets me excited about things. So this paragraph really is great because, first of all, we have to check the quality of our thoughts. So think about, what thoughts am I thinking? How quality are they? Like, what kind of quality are they? Are they serving me or hurting me? Are they the old self or the new self? So which is it? We got to choose a side because we can't be both. That's serving two masters. That's being double-minded. And we're never going to get fully what we want. That's why I believe when we're double-minded like that, when we're still stuck kind of in the old self and a little, dipping the toe in the new self, it's like that's when we have scattered energy and we're in ambivalence. We're 50-50. We're like half in, half out. So we've got to be all in. And only you can decide when you decide to go all in on yourself. And only you can decide what all in looks like. And for me, it's letting go of all the thoughts that don't serve me, all the complaining, blaming, looking at the past, trying to get people to see things that I was trying to get them to see in the past, and they just wouldn't see it, dang it. And I had to let it go because it just isn't worth it anymore. And it never was really worth it. It was just trying to control outcomes, trying to convince people. And I heard Abraham Hicks and Esther say, never try to convince anyone of anything. Just all you have to convince is you that you have power and never doubt your power. And that always stuck with me. Never try to convince anyone of anything. And I slowly learned that along the years, of course, because my job is to get people to see, in their own way, what is best going to help them. But when I first started, you're just thrown out there. You don't have your groove yet. You don't even know what to bring into sessions other than what you learned from a book. And that doesn't always work. You got to get creative with each person. Everybody's different. Some people don't want things by the book. Some people do. And it just depends. And so I had to bring my creative side in there and my spiritual side in there too, just depending on the person. So we have to really check the quality of our thoughts. And in one of my sessions today, we were talking about how to do that and how, let's say an example at work, someone was noticing that they had this belief about themselves, and it was showing up in all these different people. And we just determined that that was an expectation, that was an assumption that this person had about her coworkers and all the things that were going on. And it would just show up randomly. And I was like, well, question the pattern, because there's a pattern there. There's a pattern of thought. But the evidence that's showing up, just ignore the evidence. Just look at yourself and say, okay, I wonder, just be curious. I like that word, just stay curious. Like, what in me might have caused this to show up as a reflection to me to learn about me? What belief system is underneath all that? What am I feeling when I say this about these people, like these people that are doing this to me? What am I thinking about myself in the process? And so we kind of dug into that a little bit, and then it was resolved because it didn't make sense anymore. And so if you can identify the belief, like, what must this mean about me for me to see this and for me to experience this emotion that I'm feeling in my body and in my mind? What must I believe about myself is true? Then that belief won't have any value to it anymore because it won't make sense. And it'll kind of just exit. It just isn't needed anymore. It's amazing how it works when we transmute energy with just changing the meaning that we place on something. And it's looking at things differently. It's looking at the other side of the box. It's turning the box over maybe and looking at it. Or maybe throwing the box away and saying, there is no box. I don't even need to look inside or outside the box because there is no box anymore. It doesn't make any sense to even have a box. So it all depends on how you look at things. So the quality of your thoughts is so important. And yesterday I did my video on life leaks, where your energy is leaking in your life. I'm big on like complaining or going back to those past stories. I look at those as huge leaks. Yes, there are so many things we could complain about. We could complain about the weather. We could complain about, having to tie your shoe every day. I mean, it gets so bad. It's almost like when we resolve something that we used to complain about, then we find 10 more things to complain about because it's like, oh, we can't possibly be happy. So I want you to think about that. If I let go of my things I complain about and the things that I focus on that really make me feel anxious when I think about them, or angry when I think about them, or what about if I let go of these negative things I say to myself, or these negative conversations I'm having in my mind with this person I just had an argument with, and I'm doing it again in my mind? That's another form of, we're imagining something into existence, and her body literally feels it, and your brain thinks it's happening right now, and the imagination doesn't know the difference, the brain doesn't know the difference. So it just keeps bringing more and more to you of that feeling. And so it almost proves you're right. So whatever you're thinking about, you're right. Think about that too. Like, if you believe you can do something, you're right. If you believe you can't do something, you're also right. So every time you see something that you're not fond of, immediately describe it in your mind as you'd like to see it. What do you prefer? And you focus your awareness right there on that. You remove your consciousness from what you're seeing and say, no, it's like this now. And that's you turning into your new self. So, and that's a better quality of thought than the other thoughts you were having before. So I like to do this just for fun, and kind of play around with it during the day. And I just catch myself when I feel the mood going down at all, or something familiar popping up. I just kind of look at it and observe it, and I'm just curious about it instead of dwelling in it. I don't even really ask why anymore. I'm more just like, I'm curious about that. That's interesting. And I just observe it like I'm not that person that's having the thought. Because technically, well, we're kind of not. That's a whole other video. But anyway, it's just looking at things from a different lens, or a different filter, and a different perspective, a different perceived, a different perception. Coming up with different words, they're all meaning the same thing. We're just looking at things differently. It's as simple as that. And so when you start to look at yourself differently, you're going to see everything else differently as well. So, but yeah, I had a few people today that we talked about developing a leveling up of the quality of your thoughts, and being very aware of, what am I doing in my mind all day, and what can I do to change different parts that I might need to change during the day that are bringing me down. And also not only for the purpose of feeling better, but also for the purpose of starting to train the brain to start thinking in more of a precise, like your preference, more of your preference in a precise way versus just kind of scattered energy throughout the day. Like you might think about something and then immediately you have doubt about it, or you have this, how could that possibly happen? When is this going to happen? And then we spiral out of control sometimes because we just have one momentous thought with a huge emotion. The law of attraction will bring other thoughts to it that match that. It's on the same frequency. So we want to switch the dial from 92.1 to 104.5, and we can't hear 92.1 anymore. We can only hear 104.5. So we've got to turn that dial a little bit in order to perceive what's actually, our preference. So we have to have precise, good quality thoughts on what we prefer. So that's why I say, immediately describe something as you want to see it and feel that feeling of that. And let's see what else is in this. Letting go of your concerns about how you are being perceived around you, perceived by those around you. That's another, like we said yesterday, what people think of me is none of my business. And I added in what people are doing or are not doing is also none of my business. I've just learned to free myself and kind of let go so much. I think it's with clients mostly. I learned that through them over the years and a couple people in my personal life. But when somebody just, gosh darn it, they won't change, what are you to do? Nothing. You can't do anything about that. You got to change you. And then watch what happens. They change. When you change, they magically change too. Because, they're a mirror. So if somebody's not changing and they're upsetting me or something, I just get curious immediately. And I'm like, I wonder what I'm doing that mirrors that. And it might not be the same exact thing, but there's something there that's you. You'll find it. I swear you'll find it. I've done it every single time. And you have to be humble enough to say, hey, yeah, I see that in me. Not getting upset about it, just being like, oh man, I'm doing it. I didn't even know I was doing it. And that's happened to me a few times. So you just have to let go of ego, let go of pride, and just like be your authentic self. You just have to know that, you're doing everything at the perfect time. Everything is for your benefit. And I like to say I'm getting better and better every day. I'm doing great and I'm getting better and better every day. That's my favorite thing to say to myself. I'm just getting better and better every day. Everything is for me. Everything is awesome. I'm doing a great job. This is my life. Everything is showing me, and I have the power here, and I can do anything I want, be anything I want. And I just pump that into my mind every day, and I actually believe it now, which is awesome. And what else did I want to talk about? Let's see. Yeah, detachment, detaching from an outcome, and detaching from the how and the why or the when or any of those things. Just allow for the doors to open themselves. And let go of the oars, just kind of float down the river instead of paddling. And that will bring internal peace to you too. It's a form of surrender. It's just like figuring out what is the worst that would happen if I just let go and surrendered. And I think the worst that would happen is you'd have some peace. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't have to worry so much. But a lot of times we worry about other people to avoid worrying about what we need to work on. I have seen that multiple times in so many people and myself. If I saw it in other people, it was in me too. You spot it, you got it, as they say. Well, that's so true, isn't it? I mean, it's annoying, but it's true. It's so annoying, but it's true. And the more we harness that knowledge and use it to formulate and charge our power up, and we're unstoppable at that point. So that's the whole point, is to make us stronger and not weaker. Like we think it's going to make us weaker, but it's not. And I love this. It means refusing to pursue happiness, and instead bringing happiness to all that you undertake. And it's all within you. So we just have to bring the happiness, bring the peace, be the happiness to everything you do. Do everything that you do during your day to the best of your ability. Bring your best self to it. And do the best you can in the environment you're in. And then pretty soon, and you hold the vision of what environment you want to be in, whether it's a new job or dating somebody or marrying somebody or moving into a new home. do the best you can with what you have and hold the vision of what you're wanting. And that's the best soil that you can kind of lay down and start planting seeds in. That's the best way to do it. You're forming a foundation that you can build upon that way. So I will leave you with that tonight. I hope that this made sense. That was a little bit of a ramble again. Hope it made sense. I think it might have, but I'm tired. So I hope I'll play this back and make sure. So thank you guys so much again. As always, I hit 850 subscribers yesterday, another milestone. Only need 150 more, and then I'm gonna probably stop counting. So share this with somebody who might need to see this and say, hey, subscribe for me if you'd like to. And thank you again. I appreciate you guys so much. This is so much fun, and I hope that I'm helping some of you out with something. And if I am, let me know what it is. Just comment down below, and if you feel like it. And let's see. Remember, you are so loved. Pass that on to somebody who might need to hear that today or tonight. And remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.